So the first card you have for your past is the Nine of Wands. Okay, so I'm just looking at this man, and you know, it can mean different things depending on what I'm seeing at the time. So I've never seen this before. It looks like he's kind of in the middle of all these wands, and he's kind of shuffling them around and kind of moving them around, and he looks really unhappy. He's, really worried, upset, very emotional, not that great. His head's hurting, obviously. So I don't know if you're moving house. Might not be that, but it feels to me like you might have been clearing things away, physical things, items. So maybe you're having a clear out, maybe you're moving things from one room to another one or something, going through things, moving things around. And I think what happened is a lot of old memories might have been being brought up, because I'm just seeing a lot of feelings coming back, old feelings after looking at different objects, different things. There's a lot of really difficult energy here. It feels really kind of mixed up, very difficult. It's the memories that were difficult, not actually moving the things. I mean, that was physically difficult, especially if they were big things. But I think it was really the memories that were difficult. And I actually think you might have started this and then stopped the process, maybe halfway through or part of the way through. You just had to stop this for a while, because I think it might have been a little bit too much for you. It's like, oh, I just need a break from this. If you look at this man, obviously he's a soldier, and he's come to a point where he's just exhausted mentally and physically, and he can't go any further. He knows he has to, but he's kind of just really tired, leaning on one of the wands there. So, and it looks a little bit like he wants to hide as well. It's like, oh, I can't go back, but I don't want to come forward yet. I just don't want to keep going. I'm just going to rest here on this wand. That's kind of what I'm seeing. So, I think you will finish this. And yeah, I think you have to for some reason, because there's some kind of deadline around this, I think. Yeah, I think there might have been some old relationship memories here as well. Maybe you had things that you were looking at from when you were with someone. Because I'm seeing things being put away a while ago so that you could put your feelings away. Some of your feelings were put away with some things. That's what I'm seeing. And now you're kind of dragging them up again because you had to go through things. So if this is about you, and if you're still going through all this, you are going to feel a lot better when this is over, because you'll be able to put all these old feelings to rest along with the objects once you've gotten them up and moved them around, or gotten rid of them, or moved them with you, or whatever you're doing. I think it's just that initial seeing them again for the first time that kind of brings this all up. So I'm also seeing there are some little things here. It might be one thing, but it might be more. Little things in little tiny boxes. I'm seeing some things that you inherited. Maybe it's rings or something, because it's little things in boxes, jewelry. I think it's rings. And like all those feelings are kind of being stirred up as well. So it might be grief as well that's being stirred up, and relationship memories, everything all together. So it's very, very difficult. So yeah, you will get through this if you're still going through this. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, my throat. Okay. Right, back to normal. So the next card you have your past is the Ace of Swords. Okay. Yeah, again, lots of feelings being dredged up, and you just had to break. You just had to protect your emotions. It was just too much. This big sword can be about, protecting sometimes. But there is a deadline. I keep on seeing this, and I think that's why I was seeing moving house, because, when you have a move out date or whatever, a move in date. So, and also this card can be about new beginnings as well. So it might be about moving into a totally new life, a totally new place, and you have the Death card here as well. So the other thing I'm seeing is I'm seeing some kind of gathering information, documents, putting all the documents into one place, like putting all the papers into a pile, and putting them into an envelope or something like that. It might be something to do with this deadline, because I'm seeing lots of papers. They all have to be in one place, and they all have to be either sent somewhere or given to someone. And there's waiting around this as well. And I keep on seeing this deadline and a lot of stress around the deadline. So, and I think you've written a letter and you're having to get your point across in this letter. It feels a bit like you might have been building up a case to prove something and gathering evidence to kind of prove something. I don't know, it might be that, but I think you were waiting. I think you might have been waiting for a document to come back. So there's one piece to this whole thing that you're waiting for. You might still be waiting, I don't know. But if this is about you and you are still waiting for this, it is going to come in on time. It might be a little bit last minute, so I can see why there's a lot of stress here. But I'm seeing pretty much everything falling into place, and you're very organized with this. I'm seeing these papers. I'm seeing a pile of papers. They're all really well presented, really well organized. They're all in order. So if you're feeling stressed about this whole thing, I'm not seeing any problems here. It's all going to be okay. I just want to tell you that in case you're worrying about things being late. But yeah, it feels really big, very important to you. And this thing with all these documents and this thing with moving things around, all those things indicate big changes, preparing for a great big change. That's what I'm seeing. And now the last card here, when you have the Death card, huge change. This is like a big life change. So yeah, huge change. That's what this is all about. So, it's very stressful as well. I keep on feeling a lot of the stress around this. And, I could tell you not to stress, but I think whatever this is, it's naturally stressful, if that makes sense to you. Things like moving, changing jobs, all of that kind of thing, they're very stressful. Even if this is what you want to do, these are stressful things. But I feel as if I just have to keep on telling you that the outcome of whatever you're doing with all these documents, it's going to be positive. So don't kind of try not to worry about that, because I am seeing that it is going to be, it's last minute, but it's going to be okay. And I think once you make this big change or this big move or whatever this is, it's going to be like a breath of fresh air. It's going to feel like springtime's come in. It's going to feel totally different. You're still going to have the memories, because you're always going to remember some things. But I think the sad feelings that come with the memories, they are going to fade a bit. So I think this new start, it's going to be fantastic for you. But to get there, on the road to the new start, it's quite difficult and it's quite stressful. So you're really going through it emotionally, I think, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it to get to the other side. That's what I need to tell you there. Okay, so yeah, the first card you have, your presence, the King of Cups. Okay, there's a message here. I was going to say a warning, but it kind of is a warning, but I think you know this. This is about your instincts. I think your instincts are telling you something about a person, but you don't quite want to believe the instincts. It's something like that. You suspect something. Sorry about that. So yeah, this is for single people. And it's about letting go. I think it's about letting go of one last thing. And this is a love connection. I don't think this is an actual relationship. I'm not seeing that. There's definitely attraction. There's some kind of attraction there, but it doesn't feel like a proper relationship. That's what I'm seeing. Now, I think at one time you might have really hoped that you were going to be in a relationship with this person. I'm getting this going away, coming back, going away, coming back. So I think there's been this kind of, they go out of your sight, they go away, and when they go away, they kind of fade out of your mind. Not totally, but a bit more. And then when they come back into your life or back onto your radar again, the feelings start coming back again. So it's really this kind of stressful cycle. So if this is resonating, I think you might actually suspect a little bit of deviousness from this person. It's not like they've cheated. It doesn't feel like that to me, because again, I'm not seeing a full relationship here. Now, it might be, but this is what I'm seeing here. So there's a little bit of pretense here, though, a little bit of pretending. So it's kind of like, wanting more. I'm pretending that I'm wanting more than I actually do want. So they might have been leading you on. That's just what all this feels like to me. It's like, oh, I really do want more, that, but the time's not right, all of that kind of thing. So I think, yeah, your instincts were really telling you that there really wasn't going to be anything serious here between you. So if this is about you, and if you're suspecting all this kind of deviousness, they're talking to you, talking to other people, probably saying the same things to other people that they're saying to you, I don't know. But if you're suspecting all of this from this person, if this is how you're feeling, your instincts are right. They're 100% right. And you need to believe your instincts, because this is this one last thing that you haven't let go of properly, that you really, really need to move on from. You need to let go of this thing. So try and move on. You have the Death card here. So you've got all these amazing things that's kind of leading you up to this fantastic new fresh start, this fresh air. And if you hold on to this last thing, you're not going to get that total change. And I think a lot of things here are telling you to move on and make that total fresh start. So that's what I'm seeing in that card. Okay, so the next card you have your presence, the Seven of Wands. Yeah, I have to be honest. If this is resonating with you, what I'm seeing in the King of Cups, it probably won't be that easy for you to move on. It's not that you're around them physically. I'm not seeing that. I think you have spoken to them, and I think you probably sent them a few messages. They have as well. They can be quite overly flirty, I think. It's like they're really flirty. They really kind of say things to make you imagine that things are going to happen. But I don't think they have much of an intention of anything actually happening. And I think they might be playing with you as well. And they're playing with other people as well, I think. I have to say that. That's what I'm seeing. I don't want to say that to you, but that's what I'm seeing there. So if I'm right, and if this is what your instincts are telling you, because I keep on getting that your instincts are trying to tell you this. So yeah, this isn't someone you want to be in a relationship with anyway. But, this card's obviously about a battle. You are going to have this battle in your head and in your heart as well. There's so much moving on here. There's so much letting go here. And again, this is the one last thing that's left that you have to move on from. So I have to tell you this. If I see this, I have to point this out to you. Okay, so the last card you have your presence, the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, see, look at this. This is what this is telling you. Look at this woman. She's alone. She's happy to be alone. She's content. It's okay to be on your own. If that's what you're worried about, it's okay to be on your own. It doesn't mean you'll be like that forever, unless you want to. If you want to be on your own forever, that's absolutely fine. But you don't have to if you don't want to. But I think this is the best thing for you for now, if this is all resonating with you, absolutely. And do you know what? If someone's pretending that they're with you and they're not really, and if they're talking to other people, if they're playing around, messing everyone around, they're not with you anyway. So if they're doing all these things, you're alone anyway. You're alone anyway. I know that sounds horrible, but that's what I'm seeing, and I need to tell you the reality of the situation if this is all resonating with you. Now, your instincts know that. They know that. I think your heart just needs to believe what your instincts are telling you. I know I'm sounding a bit bossy here, but I'm really feeling this, and I'm just getting this picture of someone who's almost there. It's like I'm almost at the finish line. I'm almost at the finish line, but I'm carrying this big box on my head, and all I need to do is put down the box, and then I can get over the finish line. So put this person down, put them down, and then you'll get over the finish line. That's what I'm seeing in that card. Okay, the first card you have your future is the Ten of Swords. Yes, I know this is a really, really horrible card. It's absolutely horrible. I don't think this is telling you anything terrible that's going to happen to you. I think this is probably about, how to go about this process of actually letting go of this person. That's what I'm seeing here. And yeah, I keep on seeing this. I think there are times when you don't even talk to them. And then I think you start talking again, and they start being attentive again. And then you probably think, oh, the communication's opening up, we're on a roll, everything's getting better. But I think your instincts know. They know that they're not really. And I have to tell you this, I know this whole thing just feels quite lonely to me. Even though you're kind of talking to them or whatever, it does feel very, very lonely. So, you know, if you're truly with someone, it shouldn't be feeling like that. You shouldn't be feeling lonely if you're with someone. And your instincts know that. That's what I keep on seeing. So, you know, if you do decide to move on from this person, and everything here is pointing to that, pointing to the fact that you should do that. Okay, this is the process that I think you're going to have to go through. It's all on this card. Okay, so I'll try and explain all this to you. Okay, so first of all, this man's all by himself, obviously. So you need to find a way to not speak to this person, or just get some distance so that you can get out of all of that, get out of that cycle of backwards and forwards, and get your head back together by yourself. Okay, now, the blood's draining out from under this poor man. So you've got to let the pain drain away. You've got to let it leave you. And look at the water that's behind this man. Water represents emotion. So work through your emotions. And when you've gotten to the other side of that, if you look behind this water, there's this sunrise. That's how you get to the other side. That's how you get to the sunrise. It's hard work, but you've got to do that to get there. You know, I'd love to be able to tell you that, you know, you can just click your fingers and everything's fine. But the only way is to work through this and get to that other side. And it's hard work. I hate to say that, but that's what I'm seeing. That's how it is. And maybe that's why you're resisting your instincts, because no one wants to face pain. I don't like it either. I hate facing pain. No one likes it. No one likes it. And no one likes to see this card. But sometimes you need to work through all of that to get to the other side. And that's what this card's telling you, if this all resonates with you. Okay, so the next card you have for your future is the Four of Pentacles. So yeah, obviously this is another card. It's about holding on. So here's this again, but I'm not going to say any more about this. I'm going to try and move on from this because I've said everything I need to say really about this. So, okay. There's also this, okay, there's this moving, there's this big change here as well. And to me, when I look at this man, it just feels like you're anticipating this change and you're waiting. And it's like, oh, I can't wait. I have to sit here. I can't move. I'm really uncomfortable. This man's on this wooden bench. He's really uncomfortable. And your hands are tied just like this man. He can't move his hands because he's got holding onto these coins. And it just feels like, oh, after I've done this, after I've made this move or I've made this change, that's when I can finally do things. It's like I'm all stuck, but when this is all over, the floodgates are going to open, I'm going to be able to do everything. So it just feels a little bit like, you know, it feels like you're in a waiting room. And there's this deadline there that I keep on seeing. So you know there's a deadline, you know it's going to be over after that, but you still have to wait until that time. And your money might be a bit tight now as well, a bit difficult right now. Maybe you're having to save because you don't know kind of what your position is going to be when you're making this move. You might be like, oh, I have to make sure I've got some extra money around me in case, you know, things go wrong. If I'm moving, something might be damaged or the truck might charge me extra or something, so I have to kind of make sure I've got extra with me. It might be that, you know, or it might be, you know, it might be you're going to a new job. It might be that as well. I don't know. But, you know, you have the Ten of Pentacles after that. And it's a really interesting sequence, actually, because in this card, clearly the money's not going anywhere. It's stuck. This man's holding on to this money. But in the Ten of Pentacles, there's money floating all over the whole card. It's flowing. It's free. It's everywhere. So if you feel really stuck right now, especially money-wise, that's all going to change. After this big change or this big move that you're having. Yeah, again, I think it might be changing jobs. It might be that because there's money in both of these cards, obviously. But yeah, things are going to be a lot easier financially and in other things. Just free, just so free after this big change. Absolutely. So that's another encouraging thing if you feel really stuck and you're kind of waiting, because I was waiting in the Ace of Swords. There's a lot of waiting here as well, and kind of I'm stuck, I can't wait for this to end. That's going to change and it's going to free up for you. Okay, so the last card you have for your future is the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, this sums up the whole reading really, actually. So okay, so this person who you kind of cycle backwards and forwards from this person who you really should be letting go of. What this is telling you is there's just no stability around this person. The stability is in you. It's inside of you, and that was what the Nine of Pentacles was telling you. And look at this. I'll just hold it up so you can see this whole card properly. There. So, okay, so there's an old man on this card. And he's sitting at the front on the left-hand side. You can see him there. So he's an older man. He's a very, very wise man. And he's seen just about everything in his life. And he's kind of just sitting there. And he's looking at this whole scene. He can see this couple in front of him. And they're not communicating properly. You know, they're walking past each other. So this wise man, you know, he can see this for what it actually is. He can see the relationship for what it actually is. So what this is telling me is that either you're wise now and you're looking back on this relationship and you're realizing that things weren't right in this relationship, and you can only see that on looking back. You can see that it's not right. Or if you're not in that at that phase yet, you will be there soon. You'll be able to look back on this and you'll see that was not the right person for me. It just takes wisdom, and it takes looking back and being able to see everything. And yeah, with this money that's flowing all around this card, it might be that you make the change first, and then you're able to look back and you're able to see this connection for what it is. Because sometimes it takes a big change in our lives to kind of think, well, everything else has changed. Everything else feels really good in my life. It's just this one last person that doesn't feel good. That's the weakest link to me. So I have to let go of that. So it might be that's what happens. Yeah, this was a little bit of a heavy reading, I think, but I just hope the right person gets to hear this, because I really hate people, you know, seeing people stuck.